Did you feel that your power hand was as effective as you wanted it to be? Or was it like banging on an anvil?
No, he's like a wall, to be honest. I didn't throw my punches to break this wall. I was throwing...
Ladies and gentlemen, boxing enthusiasts and casual fans alike, come round as we dig into one of the most explosive and contentious showdowns in recent boxing history. Picture this, two unbeaten giants, Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, heading into the ring, both with a perfect record, each with a claim to the light heavyweight king. The anticipation was tremendous. The stakes couldn't have been...
to target, because with guys like him trying to break the wall, you could be catching the trap.
What greater, and the world watched with bated breath. On October 12, 2024, in the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the boxing world saw a sight for the ages. Artur Beterbiev, noted for his unrelenting strength and a knockout streak that left opponents frightened, went up against Dmitry Bivol, the embodiment of technical talent and strategic genius. This wasn't simply a fight. It was a collision of styles, a duel of wills, a dance of devastation and discipline. From the first bell, Bivol exhibited his hallmark movement and accuracy. His jab was quick, his footwork flawless, and he looked to dominate the pace, keeping Beterbiev at bay. But Beterbiev, with his granite chin and sledgehammer fists, was undaunted. He rushed forward, cutting off the ring, aiming to deliver his lethal punches. As the rounds continued,
this kid is patient.
The momentum fluctuated like a pendulum. Bivol's combinations were a thing of beauty, but Beterbiev's power blows were bone-chilling. The audience was on the edge of their seats, seeing a high-stakes chess tournament where one bad move might bring doom. The controversial decision. After 12 tough rounds, the judges announced their verdict, a majority judgment in favor of Beterbiev. With scores of 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 114 to 114, the arena erupted, not in triumph, but in dispute. Many thought that Bivol's technical superiority had gained him the win, while
savage people. And he's one of the scariest boxers of all time. The only fight that he had as a professional that went the distance is Bivol.
I know.
The only fight.
And did you see when Bivol would have
He was
his hands
19-0
up?
with 19 knockouts.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
When you have your hands up with him,
others claimed Beterbiev's unrelenting assault had clinched the deal. The boxing world was split, and the dispute didn't stop there. The aftermath and the outcry. Prominent people in the boxing world expressed their unhappiness. Eddie Hearn, Bivol's promoter, was especially vociferous, claiming, in one of the greatest bouts of our age, the most significant fight of Dmitry Bivol's life, you give him 4 rounds? It's disgusting. Even Saudi official Turki Alilshik stepped in, indicating that the verdict was not fair and hinting at the requirement of a rematch. Thascottishson, Co. UK. Bivol's reflection.
I see a fight the way I score a fight. Bivol did enough to win. I think it was a close-ish fight, but he did enough to win. It's interesting as well because his cornermen were saying to him, you need the knockout. You've got to get the knockout. Knock him out or you're going to lose the fight.
No one agreed. I couldn't find anyone ringside that had Artur Beterbiev winning that fight.
In the days after the match, Bivol took a critical look at his performance. He recognized that he could have been overly careful, waiting for the perfect circumstances that never arrived. I felt I had to move more. More counterpunches. I only need to add more. I felt certain times when I could do it, but I was a little bit wary, he said. Boxing scene. Come. The call for a rematch. The demand for a rematch became greater with each passing day. Fans, analysts, and even the boxers themselves voiced a wish to run it back. Bivol, ever the fighter, remarked, if I have this opportunity then why not? It is my ambition.
You've got to get the knockout. Knock him out or you're going to lose the fight.
No one agreed. I couldn't find anyone ringside that had Artur Beterbiev winning that fight. I mean, how can you give Dmitry Bivol 4 rounds in that fight? It was an absolute masterclass. And by the way, no disrespect to
To be unquestioned. Sky Sports. Come. Conclusion. In the end, The Beterbiev vs. Bivol clash was more than simply a bout. It was a monument to the passion, talent, and controversy that make boxing the riveting sport it is. Whether you feel the verdict was reasonable or wrong, there's no disputing the spectacle that happened that night in Riyadh, as the boxing world excitedly expects a future rematch. One thing is certain, the saga of Beterbiev and Bivol is far from done. The psychological toll on Dmitry Bivol. After the bout, Bivol didn't simply face inquiries from the media, he confronted issues from inside himself. For a fighter who had made his career on being technically better, losing in such a tight and contested way had to hurt. Bivol isn't the kind to make excuses, but as he sat down for post-fight interviews, you could see the thoughts rushing in his head. It wasn't my best night, he said. Maybe I should have taken more risks, thrown more combinations, pressed him harder. But when you're in there, you have to make judgments in real time. His greatest realization? Beterbiev is another beast entirely. He wasn't simply another power puncher. He was a machine meant for devastation. It's like hitting a wall, Bivol allegedly added. Every punch I landed, it was like he just absorbed it and kept coming. That's the thing with Beterbiev. He doesn't simply walk through punches, he relishes in them. It's as if being struck feeds his engine, making him even more deadly as the battle proceeds. Bivol, on the other hand, is a calculated combatant. He depends on accuracy, movement, and timing. But against Beterbiev, the customary formula didn't work. Why? Because Beterbiev didn't allow him time to breathe. Artur Beterbiev, the juggernaut that won't be stopped. Beterbiev's style is unrelenting. He doesn't simply hit. He wrecks opponents emotionally and physically. Even though the battle lasted the distance, Bivol felt every single second of Beterbiev's pressure. And let's speak about that power. It's one thing to have knockout power, but it's another to carry that power late into matches. Beterbiev is 39 years old, but he still fights like a man in his prime. His fitness is incredible, his durability unrivaled. After the bout, Beterbiev was modest in triumph. Bivol is a great fighter, he remarked. He made me think a lot, but in boxing, power and pressure make a difference. The fans weigh in, robbery or legitimate win? This bout didn't only leave boxers wondering things, it left fans split. Some think Bivol was robbed, stating that he outlanded Beterbiev in critical periods, commanded the ring, and drove the tempo for major chunks of the bout. Others feel Beterbiev's unrelenting aggressiveness and hard shots were the determining factors. Social media burst with debates. Bivol was robbed, he landed the cleaner blows, dominated the battle, and didn't suffer as much damage. Beterbiev's pressure was just too much. Bivol couldn't stop him from marching forward. This needs a rematch ASAP. The contest was too close to call. Even boxing luminaries weighed in. Former champions like Andre Ward and Roy Jones Jr. evaluated the bout, each pointing out how razor-thin the decision was. Some sided for Bivol, but others thought Beterbiev's authority affected the judges. Regardless of the dispute, one thing was clear, the world wanted a rematch. Bivol's road to redemption, can he solve the Beterbiev puzzle? For Bivol, this defeat wasn't simply another point on his record, it was a lesson. He had met a unique obstacle, one that required him to reassess his approach to combat. Could he adjust for a rematch? Could he find a method to negate Beterbiev's power while still hitting key shots? If Bivol wants to win a prospective rematch, he'll need to make significant adjustments. More combinations. Bivol is renowned for his efficiency, but against Beterbiev, he may need to take more chances and let his hands go more frequently. Better clinching. Beterbiev thrives when he's up close. If Bivol can wrap him up more efficiently, he may slow down the attack. Stronger inside fighting instead of continually withdrawing. Bivol may need to plant his feet and fire back with authority to gain Beterbiev's respect. These aren't simply little tweaks, these are big modifications to his game plan. But if anybody has the talent and discipline to make such modifications, it's Bivol.